Hello, and welcome to this episode of Main Street Monday, a monthly virtual meeting presented by the Kansas Main Street Program. This informal meeting is designed to offer updates from the state and national Main Street programs, but most important, it gives our designated Kansas Main Street communities an opportunity to share a little bit about what they've been doing in their communities. These are scheduled at 10 a.m. on the second Monday of each month. If you have not signed up, you can find a link in the description in this video. We hope you'll join us for future episodes. And now, let's get started with this month's episode. I think everybody knows I'm Scott Sewell, Director of the Kansas Main Street Program. It's great to see you. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Shelley is not here today. She's out today, so she won't be on the call. But I'm super excited to introduce Robert McLaughlin, our new design specialist with Kansas Main Street. Robert started a week ago today. We're glad to have him on board. Robert, I see your screen, but I don't see you.
Scott, I'm here, but apparently this temporary computer I have doesn't have video set up. So I'm on the Zoom, but.
So Robert is waiting for a new computer. So he's on a temporary one. So you'll see him in the future, but we're super excited to have him on board. Robert, do you want to just tell us a little bit about your background and where you came from?
My immediate previous job was actually with the State Historic Preservation Office at Kansas State Historical Society, and I was a preservation specialist, but my long-term background is actually architecture with over 25 years of experience working in various things in architecture, and super excited about coming over to Main Street.
Robert will be working on updating our design guidelines, which isn't going to be an overnight process by any means, and I've got some great ideas for putting together some training sessions, and then we'll develop a process for figuring out how we provide design assistance to you all. So look for that information to be developed and come out soon. But if you have any design related issues, Robert's the guy, and don't hesitate to call or email us and let us know what you need help with. I also want to announcing the 3 newest Main Street communities that went through the competitive application process. And so we're excited that that announcement is finally being made. Those communities are Eureka, Newton, and Valley Center. And then there's another announcement coming this Thursday announcing some communities that are coming back into the program. And just like with the new communities that we're announcing today, we're going to let the governor's office make that announcement. So I won't tell you who those are, but that announcement will be coming this week, and we'll be sending out an email that kind of introduces those 3 communities today and the ones later in the week to you all. So look for those emails to come out this week. So with that, as you know, the Main Street Monday is a chance for us to just give updates from the state office and the national office, and then feature a community each month. We're really excited that Jamie from Augusta is our featured speaker today. Jamie, I'm going to turn it over to you and just let me know when you want me to share your screen.
Okay, you can go ahead and bring it up whenever you get a chance. And I apologize, I don't have much of a voice, but I'm going to push through this as best I can. So today what I'm just going to share with you is basically what we shared at our annual meeting. So as Scott mentioned, we are one of the first to actually take over a chamber, so to speak. Scott, if you could go back to the last screen there. We became a Main Street organization in December of 2002. And so this July, Downtown Augusta Inc., our Main Street organization, took over the Chamber and Convention and Tourism Bureau. And this has been very beneficial because typically a chamber only promotes their business interests. It's more kind of business centric, so to speak. So this way, what we're doing is taking the Main Street approach and applying it to our entire city. Our Main Street area has about 3 blocks of a main street. And the only other business corridor actually comes to a T. So all of our businesses are basically in the same area. So this really helps everything to kind of go. And what I love about it is we can take the Main Street approach and apply it to our city. Let's go ahead to the next slide. One of the biggest things that we did in 2020 and 2021 were grants and financial assistance. This is something that was huge to help our city during COVID. We do have somewhat of an economic development group. It's just a volunteer-led group. We don't have any professional staff on this. So we kind of took the reins to help get our businesses money that they needed during this time. API is our economic development organization, Augusta Progress Inc. We are with Network Kansas. We do have e-community. So one thing that was also very nice is we partnered with our city official, our city manager, to be able to host informational meetings for our businesses where the grants applied. And this was kind of nice because holding these organizational meetings help the businesses get together and kind of be able to help each other out with these grants as well. So in 2021, we helped 15 different businesses get the grants needed. Excuse me, next slide. So this is just what you all know. This was included because most of the people attending the meeting were not familiar with necessarily what the Main Street does. And so we just wanted to make sure and go through what it is that we do on a daily basis. Go ahead. So just some goals and plans. I won't go over a lot of this. You can kind of read it for yourself. One thing that we really wanted to get back involved with is our student and youth involvement. I think that's critical to help our youth stay or want to come back to our communities after college. Entrepreneur involvement. We are a community that is surrounded by a river on 3 sides. So we do not necessarily have land to be able to grow housing or to grow industrial. So we want to work on the things that we can and what some of the benefits are that we have in our city. What can we do to expand that? Community foundation is something we're working on for this year because we do not have anything, for example, to replace a damaged park or to purchase new Christmas lights. So that's one of the big things as well. And of course, the building and business inventory, which we're working on, is one of our top priorities as well. Go ahead. So we've really grown a lot in the last 2 years. In 2021, we welcomed 14 new businesses. A majority of these are downtown. I think all but 2 were downtown businesses. And so this is something that we pride ourselves on, is becoming a destination, so to speak. We're only about 15 minutes away from Wichita. So we wanted to make sure that we make our community something that is interesting and people want to be able to get away and visit. Next slide. So this is our membership flyer to kind of give you an example of what we did for this year. We get $13,000 a year from our city. And that is also mainly because we're officed out of our train depot. It is a historic depot. We do all of the rentals, the walkthroughs, we're the welcome center. So that funding comes primarily for that, but also for the membership for some of the Augusta owned or the city owned operations, such as the airport, Santa Fe Lake, or City Lake, and the library. So with that, we need a lot of funds. This year we started fairly low because we were trying to build back and get new members and our old members that were kind of not interested anymore to come back into the fold. Some of our most important benefits that are mostly used are our graphic design and promotion. And I know that sounds a little silly, but we have a lot of nonprofits that we work with. Um, an example is our American Legion. We are building a veterans memorial in our downtown, a park that is awesome, but they are mostly older people that don't necessarily know how to use social media, don't know how to make flyers. So the fundraising's been very difficult for them. So for them to become a member and for us to be able to help them with that has been huge. With the promotion side of it, we have grown. We send a weekly email out, which I'll show you at the end. That is what's happening in Augusta. And so we started this a couple of months ago, and in the 2 months that we've done this, we've grown from 250 to over 500 subscribers. So we have a good following to see what's happening, and that's really beneficial for our businesses. The other is our small business liaison program. We don't have a city staff that does this. We saw a need, and so we started it. And we have a perfect example of kind of what that is. But we do a lot of work with our businesses to cut through the red tape of the government required things, whether it be local or higher level. We help businesses get started. A lot of times we found that businesses get started, they don't know, they know what they're doing, they're great at their trade, but when it comes to employee payroll and taxes and things like that, that's where they have a struggle. So with our members, we've created a group that can help each other out, and it's a free thing. If you need to go further, then of course you can request their services, but it's something that's kind of a camaraderie, so to speak, for our businesses to help each other out. One example of this is a tattoo shop that we had coming to town. When he went to the city, they were told no, they couldn't come. And so then he came to us and we investigated and found out that we have an ordinance that says a tattoo parlor cannot be within 250 feet of a religious institution. But we do happen to have a church downtown as well. So we went in front of the planning commission, we took it to city council, and at that time council was not interested in making that change to the ordinance. So we worked with him and found him a business location that was 260 feet away. So there wasn't really anything that could be done about that. So since then, we've been working with council to make a change to the ordinance that isn't so limiting to some of the businesses. So that's just kind of an example of what we do. Okay, next slide. Our events, we are kind of an event heavy community, and it's because we do events not only for our businesses, but for our community. It's kind of one of those things, again, if we don't do it, nobody's going to. So I've kind of got some things, we'll just kind of briefly go through some of the slides on. So go ahead and Scott, next slide. One of the things we do is our Adopt a Pot contest. The city placed a whole bunch. We actually have 53 pots downtown. And this is a chance for our citizens to kind of put their personal touch on our downtown. And this saves the city money. And we also do prizes for first, second, and third place. But the pots look amazing downtown. And this is something we've been really proud of. So again, this isn't really a fundraising event, but it does help keep our downtown look beautiful. Next slide. Our Brick Street Bazaar, we started this last year. We will continue because it was a huge success. The goal of this was to showcase our downtown and our downtown businesses. And we also brought in vendors to fill in spots. We had 75 vendors last year. It was a huge success, and our businesses downtown were thrilled with it. We also got 2 new businesses from this event that, from being vendors, eventually became businesses downtown. So this was a great way to introduce new people to our community as well. We had several thousand people on that day. Next slide. Our Homecoming Fest is one of our biggest ones, and this is strictly community related. We did our homecoming parade, which the entire city comes down to through downtown. We have our community tailgate before the homecoming football game, and then our Stakes on the Bricks event. And this is just some of the, examples of some of the graphic designs that we do as well. Next slide. So the community tailgate is kind of like I said, it's just a big tailgate before our football game. But this does also benefit our businesses. We had 18 businesses that come out. You purchase a ticket for $5, and it's kind of like a little punch card. You can go around and get a main dish, a side dish, a drink, and a dessert. And it's just a fun way for the community to get together and also showcase some of our businesses. Next slide. Our Stakes on the Bricks event, this is really the only fundraising event that we have during the year. And we have giant grills, which you can kind of see in the right corner, that we place throughout the streets. They come and play cornhole. You cook your own steak. We get our steaks locally from Walnut Valley, one of our meat processors here. We have cornhole, we have games, we have a live performance at the evening, as you can see under the Augusta Theater sign. It's just a fun event. This is an adult-only event, but it is a lot of fun for a fundraiser. Okay, next slide. And this is what I stole from Kylie from Seneca. This was our cookie crawl that we do on Small Business Saturday. This is a way to not only give back, but to promote our businesses downtown. Last year, we had 25 businesses participate. And basically what it is you buy a ticket for $10. And then the day of, you come and pick up your cookie bag from the depot. And then you go and visit all of the different businesses and pick up your cookies. And so with that, we provided the map, so to speak, and of what the businesses were having specials that day as well. This turned out to be a great event. We have about 137 people participate. We started this in 2020 as a way to get people back into businesses downtown because we had really suffered from that. But this is a great event. And then the money we collect from the cookie bag sales is donated to charity. And so we have two organizations in town that we gave money to purchase Christmas presents for kiddos in need in our city. Okay, next slide. And the last one is our Christmas parade. We have a lighted Christmas parade that we did for many years, and then it kind of went away. So we brought it back in 2021. We had Santa Claus, we have the real reindeer. It was a great event. Many people turned out and really wanted this to happen again. So we plan on doing this in the future as well. We partnered with the Historical Museum to provide Santa a place and Mrs. Claus in their cabin. And the Arts Council, so that they provided cookies and cocoa and so forth before the parade, and also the Lions Club that provided some cocoa at the end of the parade and visits with Santa. Okay, next slide. So one thing that is really big that when I came, there was a lot of distance. Nobody really worked together. Everybody wanted to be their own thing. So we worked to partner with a lot of the different organizations to help make things bigger and better. So the Arts Council does our Trick or Treat Street downtown. This year we added some extra booths from some of our members, and our volunteer group also came up with a Haunted Depot that was free for the kiddos. The Witches Night Out is also another event done by one of our businesses downtown. We help them with the graphic design. I was on the board for planning and so forth. So I think it's very important that you work together with your different organizations. It's much easier to get things accomplished. Next slide. So last but not least, we started a volunteer group. In the past, there were no volunteer groups for either organization. We started this about 8 months ago. We now have 75 members, 30 that are constant members willing to help with literally anything that we need help with. Again, I think this is something really important. Since I am a one-man show, it's just me. Volunteers are heavily required to help get things done on a daily basis. And so, Scott, I don't know if you have the, I put up some examples of our weekly updates. I don't know if you might be able to put those up just to kind of show.
I'd have to find those. Let me,
If not, that's okay. It was just a click on link in the email.
you know, what I'll do is I will find those, and then as we put together the video from this session, I'll include them at the end of the video.
Sure, that's great.
That
Or it
sound
can
like
even
that'll
just
work?
be sent out in an email. But I think it's, I'm sure most people do something similar, but it's been really beneficial. People, if I'm late on it, they're calling me saying, hey, where's this at? So like, for example, today it's going to be late and I'm already getting phone calls of, hey, where's our update for this week? So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about our organization. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them.
Actually, I'll start out with questions in the chat. Sarah from Hayes asked, where do you get your real reindeer?
We have one
Great
of our
question.
members, one of our members, we do an in-kind membership for this. It's called Dash Away Reindeer. It's from Fulton Valley Farms, which is just outside of Augusta in Towanda. And they travel all over the place. They're an amazing group. So it's Dash Away Reindeer.
With that, I think we'll wrap it up today unless anybody has any last minute questions. Thanks for being on this call today, and we'll see you in May, second Monday of each month. And we'll see you then. So have a great week, everybody. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Bye.